and I am super excited and thrilled to have a very special guest. We have Joy with us, and she is a gut health expert, and she has moved to Dubai, and she's super busy. I absolutely can't get enough of her because the golden nuggets that she's sharing with us and has always been helping us take the natural and the consistent way of moving towards the perfect health. So let me introduce Joy. Hello, Joy.
Hi, thanks for having me again. Yeah, guys, I just moved to Dubai about a month ago, and I'm a holistic gut health coach, and I'm trying to help people heal their health without all the fancy supplements and the quick fixes, and really trying to get to the root cause of what's going on. And we can do that so simply with the number one drug in the world. Do you guys know what that is?
What?
Food. Let food be thy medicine. And so, as I'm sure you guys have heard, your gut is your second brain, right? It's like a whole network of neurons that are communicating with our brain every second of the day. And the analogy that I like to use is like, when you get a text message and it's like a really great text message and you're full of dopamine and you're feeling happy about it, it means your gut's also happy, right? And then you get a really horrible message and you feel that in your gut, right? So it's that constant communication. We talked earlier about the spiritual practice of really toning in to that gut feeling. And we can really alter the state of our health within minutes just by the foods that we're using. And so it's my goal to help people lower inflammation, lower their blood sugar levels, and lower their toxicity levels. And we do that through really simple forms such as fasting protocols. Mm-hmm. So have you ladies fasted? Have you ever done any kind of long fast, short fast?
I would say 1 day fasting I've done. Great. And water. Great. Would that class as fasting?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
But maximum is 1 day.
Great, so 24 hours.
Yeah.
In 24 hours, your body literally can reset itself. It can help to heal your gut, and it also brings on a whole new set of fresh white blood cells. So fasting is one of my favorite tools to use for helping people both lose weight and heal their gut. Women have to do it in a completely different way than men because of our cycles and our hormones.
Yes.
Right? I'm sure you've heard about this. Mm-hmm. So a typical fast would be 16 to 8, which is, you stop eating dinner at 8 p.m. and you have your first meal at 12 p.m. A longer fast like that, okay, there's a process called autophagy. And autophagy is the process when all of your old dead cells are literally flushed out and replaced with fresh new ones. Mm-hmm. This is anti-aging benefits. This is how to hack your internal health with a free method, right? This doesn't cost anything at all. So I really encourage clients to kind of lean into these longer fasts. But how you break your fast is equally as important as the fast itself. So one thing that I love with gut health is bone broth. Have you?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
The best.
Is that what you do?
There are some amazing companies here in Dubai that offer bone broth even on delivery. So when I wake up, especially when I'm doing a 10-day gut cleanse, I make sure that I have bone broth first, because that will set my digestion. It will get myself ready to be able to take on the food I'm about to eat. And then you want to think about eating lean proteins and fats as your first meal, right? And then on your second meal, we'll get more into carbs, proteins and carbs for your second meal. But that first meal is really important to balance your blood sugar levels.
Yeah, so we've got Yulia with us, and she is a beautiful spiritual practitioner. So now, Yulia, you would like to ask Joy.
How do you deal with when you feel lightheaded? When you're fasting?
Okay.
What do you do with that?
Great question. So if you've never done a long fast, I don't recommend just jumping straight into 16 hours. Let's start you off on 12 14, 16. We need to build you. You need to train your appetite and your hormones just like I train my muscles, right? So we start easy. I always recommend staying hydrated, right? So we're drinking good water. You're drinking electrolytes. Maybe you're sprinkling a little Celtic salt in your water. Black coffee is also good for keeping your body in a fast. Tea, I know that you love some tea. So tea, black coffee, water, and clean electrolytes, okay? And then from there, we just have to basically what's happening is your body is going from using petrol as your energy source, which are basically carbs, into diesel, which is like you using your fat for energy. So the idea is that you're literally taking your fat, turning it into energy, which is then gonna help you go through this longer fast. And once you get into this process, girl, the amount of energy and mental clarity go through the roof.
Oh my God. I think that's a nirvana state. I feel the most important thing we can do with ourselves, Joy, is to have the perfect health to enjoy life. And what I need to also ask is that when women turn a certain age, they only think that it's cardio if they want to lose weight. How important is it for our muscles at that stage?
Oh my gosh. It is so crucial to get muscle mass. And even earlier on in the years, we don't want to wake up at 45 going through perimenopause and being like, oh shoot, I got to start my journey now. No, we have to get on this as young as possible. Building muscle mass, getting your daily steps, getting 10 minutes of sunlight a day.
Write this down, everyone.
These are some good tips to have because honestly, it's like biohacking your health so that we can literally reverse our genetic age. And we can all reverse our genetic age just with some simple hacks. They say that 50% of Americans are going to be type 2 diabetic within the next 5 years.
My God.
The numbers are just skyrocketing. And a simple hack for helping to balance your glucose levels is by reordering the way that we eat our meals. Okay, this hack is gonna blow you guys away. Okay, so say you have a plate. I'm just gonna give you a simple example of, let's say, chicken, French fries, and some broccoli. Okay, so normally you're gonna take the French fry, dip it in the ketchup, put it in your mouth, right? If we start with a carb, our insulin levels go boom, they spike right up, right? And then that means that there's gonna be a quick crash right after. If we just reorder the way that we put that food, same plate, if we have a couple bites of our vegetables, then a couple bites of our proteins or fats first. Chew that for a couple minutes. We talked about being mindful of your food. What was the quote that you talked about earlier by Deepak Chopra?
Deepak Chopra, he said, be mindful in what state you eat the food. If you're in a state of anger, this energy goes into food and straight away you put it into your gut.
My God.
I 100% believe that.
And it disbalances you. It no matter if, for example, you just add just veg and lean protein, as healthy as it sounds, but the energy is so aggressive from anger, you put it into your belly.
100%. If we're eating in a stressed out state, we're standing up, we're running between calls, we're in the car. If your body's not in that parasympathetic, really just chilled out state, your body's not going to be able to break that food down. So everybody's feeling bloated, right? That's the number one symptom that I hear.
That's the number one problem, bro.
Bloated, okay? A lot of that has to do with the ability of your body to break that food down. So if your body's not producing the right amount of enzymes, if you're stressed out, your body's not thinking, I need to digest this food. It's thinking, I need to keep this person safe, right? So of course, the food is gonna get all clumped. It's not gonna go to where it needs to go, and then you're gonna feel bloated. So I always talk about mindful eating, about chewing every bite with intention, instead of just shoveling it in. I also love a good digestive enzyme. I love my supplements, although I try to keep it as natural as we can, but the food quality is not the same as when our mothers and grandmothers were alive.
Yeah.
Right? The soil quality isn't the same. You're not getting the right amount of micronutrients in our vegetables and fruits. So what a digestive enzyme does is it literally helps break your food down to become more bioavailable. So if you're really suffering with bloating, mindful eating, getting on a good digestive enzyme, and then another tip, write this one down, stop drinking liquids during your meal.
Wow.
Right? It makes sense. If you're drinking a lot of fluid during the time that you're eating, then it just washes all those
Yes,
enzymes away.
Diluting those digestive enzymes.
Exactly, right? So drink before, drink after your meal, and then small sips if you need to. But
Sounds like a spiritual meal.
it, let's sprinkle
No,
some like
it's-
gratitude
it's-
fingers on it.
Because I think so many women are now complaining of cortisol levels,
Oh,
inflammation in the body, bloating is the number one issue, and then it even leads to like pain in the heart, because what's going on is that we're putting our body in survival mode,
Totally.
right? We're
Constant state of stress.
we're giving it like that feeling that we're not safe, and that is what is explaining why we're having these symptoms.
Yeah. No, I mean, to your point back about building muscle. So what I see that's very common, especially women in their 30s and 40s, they're trying to do too much HIIT. Too many like high intense classes. They go in there, they just want to get their sweat on. But what's happening is if a woman is, and a man too, but under constant stress, right? They have the kids at home, they have their husbands, they have their full-time job. Cortisol levels are up here, okay? All day. They're
Shooting
getting
over the
messages,
roof.
boom, 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 right? Then they go to their 1 hour HIIT session. Their cortisol levels
Oh.
stay high. Their body never has that time to come back down to reset to then. We need some stress in our body for sure. But if it's chronically high, there's no way that your body is going to be able to digest and lose that weight. So yes, managing stress, managing mental health, it all plays a role into gut health.
So Joy, were you ever did you ever have any issue with your health, or what made you come into this line? Because you're not only a fitness expert, you're also a gut health expert, which is the perfect fusion to understand the whole holistic psychology of maintaining perfect health.
Yeah. So I was a semi-pro CrossFit athlete, also with powerlifting. So I come from like a very, sports background. But I was hypoglycemic, which means that I would literally crash on the floor if I wasn't eating every couple hours.
Wow.
I was big, I was thick, I was strong, but I wasn't healthy because I was labeled as that hangry friend, right? You guys have hangry friends, we all do. And it's not a cute word to be associated
I mean,
with.
we all can be hungry at many moments.
So this is all about regulating our blood sugar level, right? So my story was I would literally carry a bag of snacks with me everywhere I went because I was too afraid to be out without having food on me, right? And I'm sure people can relate. It's like you're constantly snacking, constantly grazing, eating right before you fall asleep, and fasting and learning these gut health protocols have helped me have food freedom.
Yes.
I love to call it food freedom because instead of the food controlling me, I'm now in control of when I eat. It's almost noon now. I had my last meal at 6 p.m. I have so much energy, right? I don't know if you can feel my energy, so much energy and mental clarity without having food. And before, I would have been terrified. Like if someone told me that I was gonna do a 16 or 24, I've done a 72-hour fast before, I would have said, you're crazy. There's no way I could have done that. And you just train yourself over time to get into this flow state so that all the hangriness is an insulin drop, right? So, a typical breakfast, for a lot of people, they wake up, they have their oat milk latte, they grab a granola bar,
Or a coffee.
another coffee, right? They constantly, so first thing in the morning when they have that oat milk, it's like boom, insulin goes up. They get to the office and they're coming down to crash. They grab another coffee and they grab an apple because fruit is healthy, right? But the fruit is just another form of sugar. So really, you go up again, you get a quick burst of energy, and then you crash again. So if we kind of like, again, repaired that, and we had, say, a black coffee, we're fasting, and then you paired that apple with a protein or fat, you're not gonna have that crash, because the protein and the fat balance out that insulin to keep your insulin stable, rather than this roller coaster all day long.
With those mood swings, because I've had so many of my friends reached out and complained that when they're working and they're not eating anything in order to maintain and not gain the weight, but they feel like they gain more weight during those times compared to when they're on vacation and they don't have any work, right? So it's kind
Stress.
of odd because they're working, they're waking up in the morning, they're doing their jobs, and they're also so mindful of not having too much food, in fact having no food. But then they say, why in that state do we gain weight? Well, like, where's the weight coming on?
I mean, look, it's a balance, right? We need to make sure that we're eating enough protein. That is another hack that you guys have to become more aware of. I think people tell me all the time, Joy, eat healthy, you know, and then I see that they're under 50 grams of protein for the day. All of us here should be over 135 grams of protein for the day, right?
Can
And
you
so
write that down? 135 grams of
for
protein.
the average female, it should be about 135 to 165. An average male should be 185 to 200.
I mean, even I suffered this issue.
We all do.
I mean, like a while back, people get scared of food,
Yeah.
and then they literally are shrinking themselves in, and they deprive themselves from nourishing with those, even if it's not too healthy or it's just like a homemade cake. But it's not helping them lose that weight, and they're deprived. They're not nourished well.
I mean, under eating is also a big issue, right? Fasting is not meant to be a starving mechanism. We have to look at the big picture.
Yeah.
And the way that I coach my clients is by teaching them to read the labels. If we lower the amount of inflammation and toxic ingredients in our body, you're gonna drop 10 pounds just like that, from removing seed oils, removing sugars, removing processed foods, hydrogenated oil. I mean, there's a list of toxic chemicals that we're eating daily that if we just took 2 minutes at the grocery store to start reading. Last night was a perfect example. My friend had really bad cramps. He went on this long run. We go into the pharmacy. I asked the pharmacist for their electrolyte packets. I look on the back, and the first ingredient was sucralose, followed by a whole bunch of other chemicals. And I'm like, here I go into a trusted pharmacy, and the pharmacist is giving you poison right away, right? It's not natural. So your body's gonna have an inflammatory response,
Absolutely.
right?
So, yeah, Julia, go ahead.
Joy, tell us about how do you actually get this 135 grams of protein, because it's very hard.
It is, yeah.
What kind of food combinations?
Great question. Great question. So I always ask clients, I'm like, how many grams of protein is in one egg? Do you know?
Yeah.
How many?
10.
6.
Okay.
Right? So we go to breakfast, we have our 2 poached eggs and avocado toast, right?
Yeah.
That's only 12 grams of protein, right? There's no way you're gonna hit that 135 if you're starting your first meal at 12 grams, right?
Yeah.
So I'm adding 100 grams of grilled chicken, or the next meal. I mean, it's just portion sizes, right? So you can just add a little bit more. So if I'm having, 4 meals a day, or maybe 3 meals in a protein shake, I'll be at least at 120 grams. So a protein shake, always good to find a clean brand of protein. Another great example was Optimum Nutrition. Everybody knows this company. They are the most marketed company around the world, I think. And they are the lowest quality, right? It's going to make you feel bloated because they add all these extra ingredients, but you get 35 grams of protein.
That's it.
Right? No, that's great.
Yeah.
It's great, but if it's that balance between trying to find a good protein source and trying to find something that's clean, so I'm all about finding clean swaps, because I believe that we all deserve the brownies, and we all deserve the ice creams and the cakes, and we need this 80-20 rule. right? 80% of the time doing good, 20% of the time going out with your friends. So I'm on a mission. I just got to Dubai, but I'm on a mission to put together a folder of companies that offer clean things, whether it's cookies, cakes, breads, all the good kind of foods that we love. So in the States, there's a company called Simple Mills.
All right.
And they make cookies, brownies, pizzas, breads, all the good stuff with really clean ingredients, and you're not gonna feel bloated.
Wow.
So maybe you guys can help me next time you're grocery shopping.
Yes.
And viewers as well, please send me a message. If you find a great brand in Dubai, I would love to put together this portfolio.
Can you share your Instagram?
Sure. So my Instagram is CoachJoyous05. And I am actually getting my 10-day gut cleanse published.
Wow.
And so my idea, 10 days is really all it takes in order for people to be feeling radiant. Clients drop anywhere from 2 to 10 pounds in these 10 days just by following a lot of the hacks I've shared. And my goal is to get it into the communities out here.
Yes.
We could even team up with like having mothers and their kids do this, because kids can do this gut cleanse as well. They're not going to be fasting and doing it as strict as we are, but getting the whole families involved.
Exactly. Yeah. And now we've got like such amazing weather coming up, and we've got like weddings and events. So within those 10 days, you can actually make that transformation.
Oh, 100%. If you have an event coming up, this would be the perfect time to drop into this, because your waist is just going to go zoom.
I'm going to ask one important question, because I have a lot of people asking me this. So people are afraid to take the hard way, and Joy is making it so easy to do it the natural way, and they're looking for those quick fixes, and they're going for these new injections like Ozempic and Mounjaro. So what is it that you want to share on what is your...
Oh, this is such a hot topic. I think that before people go, there's no such thing as a quick fix.
Yeah.
And I've been getting so many messages from previous clients or just friends or Instagram followers saying, hey, I took the Ozempic, I was on it for 9 months, and I've now gained all the weight back. What do I do?
My God.
Right? So hearing all of these stories is just another example of good things come to those who work hard, right?
Yeah.
It's discipline, it's consistency, but most importantly, it's your lifestyle. So if you're not changing the habits, the root problem at the beginning, then you're never going to have this fulfilled,
Absolutely.
beautiful body, because you haven't put that work in. So if you want a quick fix, my 10-day gut cleanse is probably the quickest natural fix that you could ever want. And so I'm really excited to start sharing that with the Dubai community out here.
And because Joy is bringing in so much experience from her living in the US, in Thailand, and having to work with all these different clients from all over the world, and also testing and experimenting with these products, and also if you need someone to customize your meal plans, and to help you get a better focus on what's good and what maybe all this time you're thinking is good for you, which is actually stopping you from achieving your goal. And also not just about the weight, it's about your health. Like, you know how people, a lot of women are low on iron, they're low on vitamin D. So maybe like these are the things that we need to check out and enjoy the next coming years if we're gonna try taking care of our health now. Like, I'm so excited because I got a spiritual practitioner along with a physical health coach who were here to share the best way where we can get the whole holistic mind, body, wellness experience.
It's a full package. If you're not happy with yourself, then you're not allowing the universe to help you release the weight or the health conditions. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like how before the podcast, Yulia was saying, like, flying in private jets and still not being, there's so many things that we feel we're in lack, So have we felt that lack, ladies? Have we, and how do we?
I think everybody goes through their own journey. I don't think that everybody is just high all the time on life. I think that we have to find what's are being guided, right? What's our purpose? How are we living in our authentic self? I mean, I see too many, especially the women, that never want to be in front of a camera because they hate their bodies, they hate their image, and so their kids are growing up and they go on vacations, yet they're not in any of their family photos.
I know so many of them.
And that truly, like, that breaks my heart. So I'm on a mission to help these people because life doesn't have to be that hard.
Joy, I'm really tempted to ask you, how many hours of workout do you put in every day? What is your fitness regime? Tell me all.
You know, I put in a lot of work in my late 20s and early 30s, and now I feel like I'm in maintenance mode. I train probably 3 or 4 times a week. I'm bringing in some more femininity with my yoga and my sound healing and meditation practice, and my diet is pretty good, but I will tell you, I'm still a sugar addict.
Yeah.
I will probably always be.
I feel so comforted hearing that.
Like, I mean, if you guys see what I eat, I'm eating the hamburgers and the ice creams, but
You have a cheat day.
all the day. I never call it a cheat day because it's just my lifestyle. If I, like what you said, if you want to have the ice cream, go for it, right? But my non-negotiable is that I will never have a sugar or a carb before I've had my protein. And that's just it. If I want to have an ice cream, I make sure that I eat some protein or a salad, some fiber before, so that instead of, again, blood sugar levels spiking, that I'm balanced. And that's the rule that I live by.
Joy, one last question. How do we motivate all these people who have lost hope? They tried everything, they did everything, and then they're just so angry with themselves. and you know, like, how have you given that spark, that you know, reinventing the light bulb? How do you get these people to come to you and get the body of their dreams?
I think it's a mindset shift, right? I mean, I can't help someone that's not ready to go down this journey. I can give them all the tools, I can give them all my hacks, but if they can't make that first step, right? So I think it comes from an internal, you know, belief in themselves. They reach out to me, I put them on this super simple, easy to follow plan that's not really restrictive. We can't have a restrictive diet. If I told you that you could never have a glass of wine again,
Exactly. Yeah.
you would never listen to me, right? And that's why in my 10-day gut cleanse, I really break it down into terminology that everybody can understand, relate, and then implement, right? Because we can be scrolling on Instagram with all these diet hacks, but if you're not actually following through with it, then you're never gonna get the body of your dreams. But give me 3 months and I will absolutely change your health and your life.
Amazing. I can't wait to get to know more from Joy about this 10-day gut cleanse. I think you need to come up with your meal book, you know. And she's just doing so many fantastic things and sharing beautiful informational sources of information that we all can adapt to from today, not even for tomorrow. And you want to leave the audience with something and how they can reach out to you and get.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to set up consultations with anybody that's open to starting this health journey with me so that we can change the lives together. I think that, like you said, the answers are within. So reach out to me on Instagram. It's Coach Joyous05.
Thank you, everyone, and we look forward to connecting with you on our next episode. Stay safe and drop in your comments and share whatever you all have in mind so we can reach out to you all. Have a great day. Bye.